Lots of weird things happen to kids all the time, all around the world, every day. You know, I have something to show for it.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're
Yes.
In a jaw-dropping viral twist, Macaulay Culkin has shaken the entertainment world with some bold and brutal claims targeting Hollywood heavyweights. From Oprah Winfrey to Barbara Walters, Culkin isn't holding back as he names names and accuses them of alleged behind-the-scenes abuse. Fans are buzzing with theories. Could this be more than just a personal vendetta? Is Culkin on a mission to blow the lid off Hollywood's darkest secrets? After years of staying under the radar, Culkin has burst back onto the scene with fiery accusations, sparking intense debate. His revelations aim to expose what he describes as the shadowy underbelly of Tinseltown, calling out some of the most influential figures in the industry. Whether this is a quest for justice or a bitter act of retaliation, one thing is clear. Culkin's words have rattled Hollywood to its core. Let's unpack what's really going on. Oprah Winfrey. Let's dive into Oprah Winfrey. Her name alone evokes power, influence, and a larger-than-life persona as one of the most iconic media moguls in history. But here's where it gets murky. Some believe there's a darker side to Oprah's empire. She's been linked to controversial figures like John of God, Harvey Weinstein, and Diddy. Whispers suggest that she might have even played a role in aiding these individuals in their alleged misconduct. If these claims hold any truth, it could send shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, peeling back the curtain on a hidden web of corruption and exploitation that's been buried for decades. On another jaw-dropping note, let's talk about freedom in the entertainment industry. Last year, it shook things up in ways we've never seen, sparking endless conversations. But what's truly electrifying? The unexpected return of Macaulay Culkin. The beloved Home Alone star allegedly dropped some bombshell revelations that sent ripples through Hollywood. An unverified article claims Culkin accused powerful elites of engaging in grotesque and deeply disturbing rituals involving young actors. The chilling headline, Macaulay Culkin, Satanic elites do the unthinkable to young ones during rituals, reads like a horror script. The accusations paint a nightmarish picture of studio executives allegedly committing heinous acts. Whether true or not, these claims feel ripped from the pages of a dark Hollywood thriller.
Did people treat you differently?
Yeah. I'm always treated differently.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or not.
In December 2017, several unreliable websites stirred controversy by publishing sensational articles falsely claiming that former child actor Macaulay Culkin had revealed disturbing allegations in a radio interview. According to these reports, featured on notorious fake news platforms like Your Newswire, Neon Nettle, and News Punch, Culkin allegedly said Hollywood is controlled by satanic predators who exploit children through horrific rituals. One version of the story suggested that Hollywood executives are bloodthirsty Satanists who ritually harm children, with Culkin claiming he survived such abuse because he was a smart, suspicious kid and became too famous to be like some of the others. These fabricated articles even attributed statements to Culkin, such as, "You learn early to recognize which of them want to harm you and which have darker tastes," and that some perpetrators supposedly wear shoes made from the skin of their victims. The story further alleged that Culkin had made these remarks during a radio show in Paris, France, and that he described human leather products as having a distinctive look. One News Punch article, written by a contributor named Alan Smithy, went as far as claiming that Culkin accused a Hollywood executive of trying to get him hooked on crack cocaine at age 11, and bragging about wearing custom-made shoes made from the skin of deceased child actress Heather O'Rourke. The same article asserted that these allegations were reported in French media outlets like Les Echos, but were later removed. However, all these shocking claims have been thoroughly debunked. There is no credible evidence, recordings, or records of Culkin ever giving such an interview. Reputable French outlets like Les Echos never published such a story, and the allegations remain a fabrication perpetuated by fake news websites known for spreading baseless conspiracy theories. Guillaume Brossard from Hoaxbuster, a French-language fact-checking site, has confirmed that the screenshots and translations provided by those sensational websites are likely fakes, poorly translated from English. While child exploitation in Hollywood has been a topic raised by former child actors like Elijah Wood, their concerns usually focus on real issues, not sensationalized stories about Satanism or ritual abuse. Articles like the one claiming Macaulay Culkin's shocking revelations only spread confusion and misinformation. It's important to note that we still haven't verified the authenticity of this particular article. With serious claims like these, it's always better to wait for solid evidence before jumping to conclusions. Rumors in Hollywood can quickly spiral out of control, so it's essential to stay critical. Even though the article mentions Culkin and some high-profile figures in the industry, we can't just accept it as truth without confirmation. Hollywood is full of secrets, and the saying, "snitches get stitches," perfectly sums up the risks of speaking out against powerful people. If there is any truth to the claims, it could explain why Culkin's career seemed to hit a sudden halt. In Tinseltown, it's often tough for people to call out shady practices without facing severe backlash. Culkin's career, particularly his iconic role as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, almost feels like it could be ripped from the pages of a Hollywood drama. The success of Home Alone turned Macaulay Culkin into a global sensation overnight. At just 10 years old, he became one of the biggest stars in the world, constantly in the media spotlight, on magazine covers, in commercials, and followed by paparazzi. His performance didn't just win over audiences, it also earned critical acclaim, including a Golden Globe nomination and a Young Artist Award. But with all that attention, it's crucial to be cautious about rumors and only trust credible sources to back up any claims. Hollywood producers quickly saw his potential and cast him in other hits like Uncle Buck, My Girl, and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. His fame even led to a Saturday morning cartoon, Wish Kid, and a role in Michael Jackson's Black or White music video. However, all this success came at a personal cost. The industry's focus on profit often overshadowed the well-being of child stars, and Culkin, managed by his parents, found himself caught in the grind of constant work, interviews, and public appearances. Hollywood saw him as a money-making machine, and as a result, he faced an exhausting workload for someone so young. The intense pressure made it difficult for him to have a normal childhood.
And hurts himself. This is opening night.
Yeah.
And injures himself and can't do the rest of the run of the whole show. And apparently that was like the last acting gig he ever did, because it was quite embarrassing.
In 1995, Culkin's life took a hard turn when his parents, Kit and Patricia, decided to split. This led to a bitter custody battle between Patricia and Kit, involving Culkin and his 6 siblings. These personal struggles just added to the already tough times Culkin was facing in his career. The emotional toll was huge, and it made everything feel even harder for him, both in his personal life and professionally. After the custody battle, Culkin's relationship with his father became really strained, especially when his mom was granted full custody. The very public divorce and custody fight added even more stress to the young actor's already overwhelming situation. Once Culkin turned 18, he gained access to his sizable earnings, which of course led to a major financial boost. In a lighthearted interview with Ellen DeGeneres, Culkin joked that it felt like someone else had worked hard for the money, and he had just inherited it like a sudden windfall.
What age did you see your money?
I didn't see it until I turned 18. You had I call it the slip of paper meeting, where they kind of pretty much put a number on a piece of paper and like slide it across the table.
As his star power began to fade, Culkin made the decision to step away from the acting world. He wanted some peace and privacy, trying to escape the relentless attention of Hollywood. His goal was to just be a regular guy on the street, not some former child star. Taking a break from the spotlight, Culkin ventured into other creative fields like writing and music, hoping to find fulfillment beyond acting and the pressures of the industry. In 2003, he made a guest appearance on the hit show Will and Grace and took on a role in the biographical film Party Monster. While some critics appreciated his move away from his past roles, the film didn't quite bring him back into the public eye. Despite his efforts to break out and redefine himself, Culkin found it tough to move past the shadow of his childhood fame and reinvent himself as an adult actor.
It was just, you know, I lost the reason why I was doing it. And so I need to get reacquainted with my family. I hadn't spent time with my family.
Culkin's journey to find himself beyond his childhood fame was both freeing and challenging. As he continued exploring meaningful ways to use his talents outside of Hollywood, he was reminded that success in the entertainment industry doesn't always follow the typical path. True fulfillment, he realized, comes from staying true to what you love and expressing yourself authentically. Other victims. Macaulay Culkin's experience in Hollywood wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, though. His time in the limelight came with constant media attention and harsh criticism. Some people unfairly labeled him as another child star who lost his way. But that view overlooks the huge pressures and difficulties child actors face in Hollywood. The glitter and glamour of the industry may seem appealing, but it's also a tough, sometimes damaging world. The struggles of young actors like Culkin show how the industry often uses and then discards them once their star power fades. However, Culkin's sudden exit from the scene raised eyebrows, and he's not alone in his fight. Fellow former child stars, Elijah Wood and Corey Feldman, have spoken out in support of him, sharing their own difficult experiences in Hollywood. Elijah Wood dropped some serious insights in an interview, revealing that something major was happening in the industry. He talked about the vipers in Hollywood, people driven only by their own interests, and the dark side of the industry. He said that if you can imagine it, it's probably happened. Following Wood's lead, Corey Feldman also stepped up, exposing the abuse and exploitation he and other child stars faced. He even named names, stating that the same people who hurt him and Corey are still out there, working in Hollywood and holding immense power and wealth. One of the worst aspects of Hollywood, they argue, is how it exploits young talent. We've all heard the horrifying stories of child actors being taken advantage of by powerful industry figures. And sadly, these stories aren't just rumors, they're real. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. Some people claim she's part of an elite group that chooses to ignore this toxic behavior. What's even more frustrating is how these stories often get swept under the rug or fail to get the attention they deserve. Former child star Elijah Wood has even gone on record saying Hollywood is full of vipers, and the people responsible for these crimes are protected by the powerful elites in the industry. The conversation around child abuse in Hollywood isn't exactly new. In his 2013 book Choreography, Corey Feldman revealed the abuse he and his The Lost Boys co-star Corey Haim endured as kids. But this discussion has never quite gained the traction that the conversation about Bill Cosby's alleged abuse did, until it took a comedian like Hannibal Buress to start the conversation. Perhaps this is the moment for change. Elijah Wood, in a recent interview with the Sunday Times, compared Hollywood to a place full of dangerous, predatory figures, stating that if you can imagine it, it has likely happened. He shared that his mom protected him from any potential abuse by keeping him away from parties, but many of his peers weren't so lucky. He pointed out that innocent young actors, who have little knowledge of the industry, are easy targets for those with bad intentions. Wood even compared what he saw to the horrific crimes committed by English TV personality Jimmy Savile, which only came to light after his death. Wood expressed how devastating it was to witness this, acknowledging that it was all organized, and the victims' voices often go unheard because those in power protect the abusers. In response to the backlash following the interview, Wood released a statement clarifying his comments. He explained that the conversation with the Sunday Times was about his latest film, but it unintentionally shifted to a sensitive topic, leading to misleading headlines. He expressed that he had recently seen a powerful documentary on the subject, which led him to briefly discuss the issue. Wood emphasized that while the topic of child abuse in Hollywood is crucial and should be investigated, he has no personal experience with it and cannot speak on it with any authority beyond what he's learned through articles and films. Elijah Wood highlighted a grim truth about the entertainment industry. Victims often struggle to make their voices heard, especially when up against powerful figures who silence them. He found it heartbreaking to think about how many innocent people suffer in silence, their lives forever altered. Wood is grateful that his mother, Deborah, shielded him from such dark experiences, keeping him away from the industry's more harmful side. But even as an adult, he's faced exposure to these unsettling realities, realizing that these disturbing events are likely still taking place today. His reflections closely mirror what Corey Feldman has been saying for years. Elijah Wood's journey in Hollywood has been nothing short of remarkable. He rose to fame as one of pop culture's most iconic figures, a position that many would envy, but it's also one that comes with its own set of challenges. The pressures of Hollywood are tough to escape, but Wood managed to do so in some very smart ways, sidestepping the typical typecasting that traps many actors. His mother's constant advice, "You can always do better," has stuck with him since childhood. With her love and support, he not only survived Hollywood's grueling teen years, but also built a solid career that continues to thrive. However, as his career grew, Elijah couldn't escape the industry's darker side. One of the disturbing things he's witnessed is the prevalence of child exploitation. Despite the hardships, his focus on work led him to meet the woman who would become the love of his life and the mother of his child. From a young age, Elijah had his sights set on a career in entertainment. Growing up in a nurturing family with his two siblings, his parents, Debbie and Warren Wood, supported his love for music and acting. By the age of 7, Elijah was modeling and taking piano lessons, soon landing roles in school plays like The Sound of Music and The Wizard of Oz. His professional journey started early with a spot in Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl music video in 1988. As his acting career took off, Elijah starred in well-known films like Back to the Future Part 2, Paradise, and The Good Son. His breakout role in Child in the Night drew attention, cementing his status as a promising actor. Yet, at just 15 years old, Elijah had to step back for a while due to his parents' divorce. Though it was tough, it didn't impact him as severely as it might have other teens in similar situations. After taking a short break to focus on himself and his family, Elijah returned to Hollywood, starring in Flipper, a family-friendly film about a boy caring for an injured dolphin. Despite his success, Elijah couldn't help but notice how his friends, like Corey Feldman, Kieran Culkin, and Scarlett Johansson, weren't working as much. The reason behind this was unsettling. While many aspiring actors view Hollywood as the ultimate dream, recent revelations have uncovered the dark side of the industry. Several celebrities, including Corey Feldman, have bravely shared their traumatic experiences, shedding light on harsh realities that have sparked public discourse and, at times, backlash.
He was literally just a stalker, hanger-on dude that basically got into my life because he worked for the Saturn Awards and was trying to give me an award.
Corey Feldman began his acting career at just 3 years old. At that tender age, a child can't fully comprehend the consequences of joining the entertainment industry. The responsibility usually falls to the parents, and in Corey's case, his mother recognized the financial potential of his early start. This decision shaped his life, exposing him to the harsh realities of Hollywood, which he would later confront. During his peak years, Corey likely earned a substantial amount, but he has alleged that his mother took advantage of his earnings, a common issue among child stars. To protect their finances and well-being, some young actors like Corey have sought legal emancipation from their parents. These efforts have led to significant improvements in the working conditions for young performers and have forced the industry to take their rights and safety more seriously.
I was a little frustrated, like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna stay up all night? And this little Asian lady comes up to me and she's like, hey, you should just do what your mom does to stay awake. And I was like, what's that? And she's like,
in the 1980s, many young actors lacked the awareness or knowledge needed to protect themselves from potential exploitation in Hollywood. Corey Feldman's experiences during that time serve as an important warning for future generations of actors entering the industry. His story highlights the need to safeguard young talent and prioritize their well-being in a space that can often be predatory. It's a stark reminder that there's still work to be done in ensuring proper reforms and protections for child actors within the industry. Back in 2013, Corey did something incredibly brave. He released a memoir revealing the terrible experiences he and Corey Haim faced in Hollywood when they were just kids, around 11 to 13 years old. His book shed light on how some influential people in the industry treated them, igniting a larger conversation about how Hollywood needs to step up its game in protecting young actors and holding abusers accountable. Feldman also spoke about how the abuse he endured during his childhood played a role in his later struggles with substance abuse, showing how deep the impact of trauma can be.
I was like, oh, okay, well, she makes it sound so easy and harmless, I might as well. If my mom's doing it, how bad could it be, you know?
Corey's decision to speak out, even naming those who hurt him and Corey Haim, really underscores how deep-rooted the problems are in showbiz, especially for child actors. His revelations call to mind what happened to Brooke Shields, who was exploited at a young age. By speaking out, Corey Feldman has sparked a much-needed conversation about the protection of young performers. He's never been shy about exposing Hollywood's darker side, but as he became more vocal, he faced significant pushback from industry figures, some of whom were allegedly connected to Oprah Winfrey.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey herself has been at the center of various controversies, including accusations of smear campaigns against critics, sabotaging careers, and even legitimizing the notorious John of God as a miraculous healer. Because of these actions, some people link Oprah to figures like Harvey Weinstein. They've had a close friendship for decades, and many believe Oprah couldn't have been unaware of Weinstein's reputation, which had been tainted since the 90s with accusations of abuse. Some say she offered him support, even though her team denies it. Given her long-standing connection to him, many question why Oprah would stand by someone like Weinstein, especially when his behavior was so vile. The photos of their close friendship only add fuel to the fire, and some even speculate that Oprah may have encouraged actresses to get involved with Weinstein. Rose McGowan tweeted about Oprah, saying, "I am glad more are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't. From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come." Lizard. Another person who criticized Oprah was singer C, who also accused Oprah of facilitating the actions of both Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Oprah's alleged ties to Epstein are still shrouded in mystery, with many online suggesting that she may have been involved in Epstein's selection of victims. Some even believe that Oprah might have been part of an organization connected to human trafficking, based on claims from Floridian residents. Fans have noticed odd incidents, and one person wrote, "Oprah is one of the bad guys." Another added, "I didn't believe Oprah could possibly be connected with any of this until she started that girl. And I expected stories to come out years later about problems there." That's all for today, folks. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.